Imagine standing in the center of Rome in the year 8080. Towering over you is an absolute mountain of stone and marble, 4 stories high, stretching longer than 2 football fields, and capable of holding over 50,000 roaring citizens. There are no diesel cranes, no steel beams, no electric engines, and no modern surveying equipment. And yet, the Romans built this colossal arena, the Colosseum, in just under 10 years. To put that in perspective, modern cities often take longer than that just to finish a subway extension or repair a highway. So how did an ancient civilization construct one of the most iconic engineering marvels in human history using nothing more than muscle, gravity, and raw organization? The story of the Colosseum doesn't actually begin with grand architecture or heroic engineering. It begins with hatred, chaos, and a desperate political gamble. In 68 AD, the notorious Emperor Nero was forced to commit suicide, leaving Rome in complete turmoil. Nero had been an extravagant, self-obsessed ruler who had seized a massive chunk of public land right in the heart of Rome after a devastating fire. On that stolen land, he built himself a ridiculously opulent palace called the Golden House, complete with a massive artificial private lake. After Nero's death, a tough, pragmatic general named Vespasian fought his way to the throne. Vespasian knew that to keep the Roman public from revolting, he needed to do something radical. He needed to prove that the imperial government cared about the people, not just its own luxury. So he made a brilliant political move. He drained Nero's private lake and announced that on that exact spot, he would build a massive permanent amphitheater for the public. The message was clear. What Nero stole for his private pleasure, Vespasian was giving back to the citizens of Rome. To pay for this colossal project, Vespasian didn't raise taxes on Romans. Instead, his son Titus sacked Jerusalem, bringing back thousands of Jewish captives to serve as forced labor, along with tens of thousands of pounds of looted gold and silver. The money was secured, the labor was assembled, and work began around 72 AD. Now, imagine the engineering nightmare facing the Roman architects. They were building an unprecedented structure, weighing hundreds of thousands of tons, directly on top of a drained lake bed. If the ground gave way, the entire building would crack and collapse. To solve this, Roman engineers dug down over 30 feet to create a massive ring-shaped trench. They poured an enormous, continuous foundation of ancient concrete, 23 feet thick, creating a massive stone pancake capable of supporting the unimaginable weight above it. And that concrete was Rome's secret weapon. Roman concrete wasn't like the concrete we use today. The Romans mixed volcanic ash, known as Pozzolana, with lime and water. This chemical combination created a material so durable that it didn't just harden, it actually grew stronger over time, especially when exposed to water. Without this specific volcanic material, the Colosseum simply could not have been built. Once the foundation was set, the real assembly line began. And that is a key to understanding how the Colosseum was built so fast. It was constructed like an ancient assembly line. Instead of building the structure piece by piece from the ground up in a traditional way, the Romans designed a clever framework using interconnected arches. Arches are engineering masterpieces. They redirect the heavy downward pull of gravity sideways, distributing immense weight down into the thick piers below. By stacking arches on top of arches, Roman builders could build higher and lighter than anyone before them. To speed up construction, the Romans used standardized materials. Slaves and laborers worked round the clock in nearby quarries, carving out over 100,000 cubic meters of Travertine limestone. Massive wooden carts, pulled by teams of oxen, hauled these heavy stone blocks into the center of Rome along specially built roads. At the construction site, giant wooden treadwheel cranes powered by teams of men walking inside massive wooden wheels like hamsters hoisted these multi-ton stone blocks high into the air. To join the heavy stone blocks without modern mortar, workers drilled holes into adjacent stones, inserted iron clamps, and poured molten lead into the gaps. When the lead cooled, it locked the massive stones together like giant ancient Lego bricks. While elite stonemasons carved the outer facade, thousands of workers poured Roman concrete into wooden molds to form the inner walls, vaulted hallways, and seating tiers. By dividing the work into repeating modular sections, different crews could work on different parts of the stadium at the exact same time without getting in each other's way. Within 8 years, the main structure was nearly complete. Rising 4 stories high, the exterior featured 80 arched entrances on the ground level. These arches weren't just decorative, they were a masterclass in crowd control. Thousands of Romans could enter the stadium, find their seats via a complex system of numbered arcades and staircases called Vomitoria, and fully evacuate the building in less than 15 minutes, a design concept still used in modern sports stadiums today. Above the upper tier, the Romans installed a massive canvas awning called the Velarium. This gigantic shade system was operated by a specialized detachment of sailors from the Roman Navy, who used a complex system of ropes, pulleys, and wooden masts to shield 50,000 spectators from the scorching Italian sun. When Vespasian's son Titus officially opened the Colosseum in 80 AD, he inaugurated it with 100 days of games. The arena floor was initially flooded to stage mock naval battles, displaying the absolute mastery Roman engineers had over water and space. Later, under Emperor Domitian, a subterranean network called the Hypogeum was constructed beneath the arena floor. This two-story underground maze featured hidden trapdoors, mechanical elevators, and pulleys that could suddenly deploy wild beasts, gladiator combatants, and elaborate scenery directly onto the wooden arena floor above, creating an incredible spectacle for the audience. The Colosseum wasn't just a stadium. It was a physical demonstration of Roman dominance. It showed that the empire had the power to reshape the earth, bend gravity to its will, organize thousands of workers, and turn raw stone into an enduring icon of power. 2,000 years later, after earthquakes, fires, and centuries of stone scavenging, the Colosseum still stands in the center of Rome, a massive monument to the power of ancient engineering and a reminder of what human organization can accomplish without a single modern machine.